The Shushan marketplace bursts with life, a symphony of commerce and chaos under the open sky. Amidst the vibrant tapestry of merchants and children, Mordecai, a traveler etched with weariness and wisdom, halts, his senses alert. Hushed whispers snake through the crowd like tendrils of unease, drawing Mordecai's attention into their shadowy depths. A concerned shadow falls over Mordecai's face as he recognizes the ominous signs of a brewing storm, both seen and unseen. Inside Esther's modest chamber, shadows dance in the dim light as she sits, unaware of the impending doom. Mordecai enters, his face etched with worry and dread, a harbinger of terrible news. He clutches a scroll, his hand trembling as he reveals the decree, its words promising annihilation. The scroll speaks of a plan to wipe out all Jews, a horrifying plot laid bare in the flickering lamplight. In the opulent throne room of the Persian palace, King Ahasuerus sits heavily upon his ornate throne, clearly inebriated. His advisors stand beside him, their expressions a mixture of concern and veiled ambition. Haman's insidious plan hangs in the air, swaying the king's judgment with promises of power and security. With a grand, drunken flourish, Ahasuerus seizes his signet ring, the symbol of his absolute authority. The ring slams onto the decree, the sound echoing through the hall as the fate of the Jews is sealed with royal indifference. In the vibrant Shushan streets, Mordecai appears, draped in rough sackcloth and covered in ashes, a stark figure against the bustling backdrop. His loud wails cut through the lively marketplace, a raw expression of grief that silences the merchants and shoppers. The townsfolk pause, their daily routines disrupted by Mordecai's dramatic display. A wave of unease rippling through the crowd. Whispers spread like wildfire, curious stares turning to concerned glances as they try to decipher the cause of his sorrow. Mordecai's mournful cries echo between the stalls and buildings, amplifying the growing sense of dread among the onlookers. His presence casts a shadow over the once joyful atmosphere, a poignant reminder of unseen troubles lurking beneath the surface. Soft sunlight graces Esther's chambers as she delicately composes a message, each stroke of the pen filled with purpose. She entrusts the scroll to Hathach, his face a mask, unreadable as he accepts the queen's urgent plea. A palpable silence fills the room as Hathach returns, his grave demeanor foreshadowing dire tidings. Esther listens with rapt attention, her initial curiosity slowly morphing into chilling alarm. The weight of Haman's sinister plot and the king's irreversible decree crashes upon her, shattering the serene calm of the morning. Within the opulent harem of the Persian palace, Esther stands, the weight of her decision heavy on her shoulders. The air is thick with the scent of jasmine and unspoken tension as she contemplates her perilous options. Each step is fraught with danger. The penalty for approaching the king, uninvited, a chilling certainty. Her fate hangs in the balance, dependent on a single gesture of mercy from the king. The golden scepter, a symbol of life or death, becomes the singular focus of her desperate hope. In the quiet of her chambers, Esther kneels, her face bathed in the gentle glow of candlelight. Her hands are clasped tight, a silent prayer forming on her lips as she seeks guidance in the stillness. A determined glint sparks in her eyes, reflecting the gravity of her thoughts. The soft light dances across her face as her resolve hardens, a silent promise etched in her features. She rises, her movements deliberate, the weight of her decision settling upon her shoulders. Esther understands the gravity of the situation and knows she must act. In the radiant courtyard of the Persian palace, Esther, regal in royal robes, advances with unwavering resolve. Her determined footsteps echo across the vast expanse as she approaches the inner court. King Ahasuerus sits upon his grand throne, an imposing figure of power and authority. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Esther confronts the formidable king. Sunlight floods the throne room, motes of dust swirling in golden beams as King Ahasuerus sits upon his ornate throne, a figure of immense power. Before him, Esther stands with her head bowed, a slight tremble betraying her fear. The king regards her with a stern gaze, his expression unreadable as he assesses the woman before him. A flicker of something akin to mercy softens his features, a brief respite in his regal demeanor. He extends his golden scepter towards her, a silent invitation and a test of courage. His voice echoes in the vast hall, a question that hangs heavy in the air. What is your desire, Esther? Inside the Persian palace, opulent tapestries shimmer in the candlelight as Esther presides over the royal banquet, regal and composed. King Ahasuerus sits at the head of the table, with Haman at his right hand, their goblets constantly refilled by silent, gliding servants. Esther exchanges polite words, a subtle tension masked by her gracious facade. Your Majesty, honored Haman, your presence graces this humble occasion, Esther says, her true intentions hidden behind a veil of courtesy. Would you both do me the honor of joining me for another banquet tomorrow? Perhaps then, I shall be ready to unveil my heart, Esther proposes, skillfully delaying her request. Flickering candlelight dances across opulent furnishings as Haman, a man of imposing stature, holds court with his wife and friends. Haman's voice booms with pride, yet a dark frustration simmers beneath his confident facade as he proclaims, "The queen herself seeks my counsel. Can you imagine the honor?" "You are indeed a man of great influence, Haman," one friend remarks, feeding his vanity. Haman's smile falters, his eyes hardening as he reveals, "Yet, my joy is incomplete. There is one who dares to defy me, to show me no respect. Mordecai." He refuses to bow. His wife's dismissive tone barely conceals her annoyance. "That troublesome Mordecai again? Why do you let such a small thing bother you?" Haman slams his fist on the table, his face contorted with rage. Small? It is a festering wound. His defiance is an insult to my position, to the king himself. Under the cold light of the moon, Haman's face contorts with malice as he commands the palace guards. A towering gallows of dark wood rises in the courtyard, its stark silhouette a grim promise against the pale stone. Haman's eyes gleam with cruel satisfaction as he surveys the construction, his dark ambition taking shape. He envisions Mordecai impaled upon the gallows, his triumph complete as the first light of dawn approaches. In the dimly lit king's bedroom, flickering candles cast dancing shadows across the ornate walls. The king tosses restlessly in his massive bed, eyes wide open, frustration etched deeply on his brow. He signals urgently to a nearby attendant, his unspoken command hanging heavy in the air. "Bring me the royal chronicles. I cannot sleep," the king commands, his voice resonating with unease. The scribe drones on, and Mordecai uncovered a plot by Bigthan and Teresh to assassinate the king, thus saving his life. Stop. Was Mordecai ever rewarded for this service? The king interrupts, his eyes blazing with sudden indignation. What? Such loyalty and bravery overlooked? This is unacceptable. Inside the opulent Persian palace, candlelight dances across the walls, casting long shadows that amplify King Ahasuerus' growing impatience. Esther stands regally before the king, her face a mask of fear and determination as she prepares to reveal her secret. "I must reveal a truth that weighs heavily upon my heart," Esther declares, her voice ringing with solemnity. "I am a Jew." A palpable tension fills the hall, every eye fixed on Esther as her words shatter the banquet's lavish facade. "Haman has plotted to destroy my people, to wipe them from the face of the earth," she continues, her accusation a thunderbolt aimed at the unsuspecting Haman. The throne room glows with the light of torches, an opulent stage set for betrayal and desperation. The king bursts forth, his face a storm of fury as he abandons the scene. In a desperate act, Haman throws himself at Esther's feet, begging for mercy. The king misinterprets Haman's posture. An unseen voice reveals, setting the stage for further tragedy. A twist of fate, as the king suddenly reappears in the doorway, his gaze piercing the unfolding scene. Under the radiant sun of Shushan, Mordecai stands tall as the royal decree echoes through the city. The decree proclaims a stunning reversal. The Jews are now empowered to defend themselves against all enemies. A tidal wave of jubilation erupts from the Jewish people, their faces alight with newfound hope and liberation. Their voices, once hushed in fear, now resonate with defiant joy, celebrating their hard-won freedom. Esther and Mordecai are lifted high, carried on the shoulders of the crowd, celebrated as saviors and heroes of their people.